Yo, what is up, guys? It is me, exactly. The level of pettiness is unreal, unprecedented, just unbelievable. The Cleveland Cavaliers, no, not the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let me leave the entire organization out of this, but Dan Gilbert has just won the official award for being the most petty owner in sports history. Look, you caused all of this commotion for a 2020 second round draft pick. The whole Kyrie Irving trade might be voided. Commotion to get a 2020 second round draft pick. How petty do you have to be? The only reason that I'm calling out Dan Gilbert specifically on this is because this has his fingerprints all over it. Plenty of articles have already come out saying that Dan Gilbert was the one behind the whole impasse between this Boston Celtics Kyrie Irving trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. A report amid the stalemate earlier this week suggested that the Cavaliers orchestrated the impasse, presumably in an effort to squeeze out more assets out of the Celtics by questioning the condition of Isaiah Thomas's injured hip. Y'all really did all of this to squeeze out, to try and finesse a 2020 second round pick. All of this for a 2020 second round pick. Keep in mind that this is in a trade where the Cleveland Cavaliers were already seen by many as being the winners of that trade. People were saying the Boston Celtics got finessed in the first place, that they gave up too much for Kyrie Irving, and then they go back and ask for more and come away with the 2020 second round draft pick. This is why LeBron James is leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers after this season, because the owner Dan Gilbert is on games. This right here, this is the type of stuff that will make other teams and organizations not want to trade or do business with you anymore. All of the other owners and GMs around the league are looking at this situation. They're looking at how the Cleveland Cavaliers just did the Boston Celtics. They see all of the fuss they made about the whole Isaiah Thomas being injured thing, even though Isaiah Thomas himself came out and said that he will be just fine and is going to return as the same player that he was. The Cavs tried to make it seem like IT was out here hobbling around toothless on one leg, just so they could try and finesse some more assets out of the Boston Celtics. I am another general manager around the league. I am not even answering a phone call from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why would I want to do business with people who purposely plot to try and screw other people over? But it is funny though, a second round pick. That's all you guys managed to get out of this. Pretty sure any one of us could call up to Mickey D's and see how much it would be to get a 2020 second round pick with a freaking Happy Meal. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do that right now. Call McDonald's. I'm about to get my second round pick, just to prove it to you, Dan Gilbert. Hi, I was just wondering, what toy comes with the Happy Meal right now?
We have the emojis.
The emoji toy? Okay, is it possible to like get that swapped out with like a 2020 second round NBA draft pick?
I don't have time for games.
It's that easy. What I also loved about this is that after the trade was finally finalized, was finally official, other reports started coming out saying that the Cavs weren't willing to actually void the trade because they valued the pick too highly. And let's not fool ourselves here. We all know that the Cavs went into this whole scheme with the intentions of getting much more in return than just a 2020 second round draft pick. I'm sure at first they were gunning for either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. They let the Celtics know that in order for the trade to go through, they were going to need to throw in either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. And as soon as they let that fly out of their mouth, Danny Ainge turned the tables and he threatened to call off the entire trade because it's clear the Cleveland Cavaliers were trying to get over on the Boston Celtics even more. And that had Dan Gilbert shook. He knows he needs that draft pick. No other team in the NBA is offering a top 5 draft pick in next year's draft in exchange for Kyrie Irving. LeBron James is about to leave. Then once that happens, what you gonna do? What are you going to do, Dan Gilbert? Build around Iman Shumpert? No, Iman Shumpert doesn't even want to be there. Iman Shumpert asked to be traded from the Cleveland Cavaliers. How bad does it have to be if Iman Shumpert doesn't want to play for you?
My mom go see that. Yeah. Hi, Ma. What's going on? What's going on, Ma?
So after the C's threatened to call it off, the Cavs were probably like, all right, you know what, fine. We won't take Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. We'll settle for another first-round draft pick. You know, no big deal. Who do you think you are? You guys already won the trade. What kind of person, after winning a trade, after getting over on somebody, comes back and then tries to get over on them even more? How greedy? How greedy do you have to be? After hearing that, I'm sure Danny Ainge was about to go click, click. I'm sure he maybe did go click, click. The trade is off. So then what do the Cavs do? They hear that click, click, and they get right back on their phone because once again, they know they need that draft pick. They're not willing to lose that draft pick. They call back and like, you know what? What would you guys be willing to give us to sweeten the deal? Because look at IT over here. He hobbling around toothless on one leg. So Danny Ainge is like, all right, fine. Here's what we'll do. We'll give you guys a 2020 second round draft pick as long as you promise to never call back. And if that doesn't sound good to you, then you can kick rocks and blow bubbles because the trade is off. As soon as he heard that he was getting another draft pick, I can already see that man Dan Gilbert parading around like he just won the Super Bowl. His mastermind plan of getting even more assets out of the Boston Celtics worked. Mr. Gilbert, it's people like you that make people like me despise people like you. You are the type of guy that will come into my Subway and complain because I gave you 25 cents back instead of 26 because we were out of pennies. I really wish Danny Ainge would have just called out the trade completely to try and teach you a lesson. Actually, I don't wish they would call out the trade though, because I really do think this whole Kyrie Irving Isaiah Thomas trade was good for the NBA, but still, just remember, what goes around comes around, Dan Gilbert. You try and plot and get over on people like this, don't be surprised when one day someone plots to get over on you. Question of the day time. On a scale from 1 to 10, yes, this is the serious question of the day. How petty was this of the Cleveland Cavaliers to come back and get a 2020 second round draft pick? Let me know down in the comment section below, but now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, I asked you guys if you think Zion Williamson could go down in NBA history as one of the best in-game dunkers the league has ever seen. And here's what you guys said. Question of the day. I totally see Zion being one of the best dunkers in NBA history, but I don't see him surpassing Dr. J, VC, and MJ. Heck, he might not even surpass LeBron, but that's just my opinion. Question of the day. I believe that Zion Williamson is one of the most athletic prospects basketball has ever seen, and that he makes dunks look so effortless, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to say he'll be a better game dunker than Goatbrook, or let alone dunking legend Vinsanity. I just want to say that right now, Zion Williamson kind of reminds me of another Blake Griffin, extremely athletic and a great dunker. That's what Blake Griffin was when he came into the league too. Of course, Blake Griffin progressed more, and I think Zion Williamson will do the same. As far as being one of the best dunkers, I can for sure see it happening. I mean, right now, some of the in-game dunks that he does are already better than what most of the in-game dunks some players in the NBA are capable of doing. But that's it for today. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace.